Well, hey there everybody, ladies and gentlemen, one and everyone. I am your neighborhood friendly Oxhorn, here as always, with my suspender set to maximum stun. This is the 150th episode of Scotch and Smoke Rings. For 150 weeks, every week, every Thursday at 7 o'clock we have come here. We have congregated to this place at this moment in time to drink scotch and to blow smoke rings and to talk about video games and life in general. So, hello everybody once again, and thank you for coming. I am happy to be here, and this is an extra special episode, ladies and gentlemen. Do you know why? Well, it's because this is the last episode of my life before I go from being not a parent to a parent. That's right, my beautiful wife, Jody, is pregnant, and she is about to give birth. We're pretty sure it's going to happen here soon, probably before the next episode of Scotch and Smoke Rings. So, that is what makes this day special, and hopefully we'll get her on camera here before the episode ends. Maybe? Maybe. But before we start, of course, we have to go through the pre-show ritual, which of course is pouring the scotch. Today I am drinking a very, very cheap scotch. Yes, this is a blended scotch whiskey, and you know it's bad when instead of the brand name, it simply says Scotch. This is Scotch brand. Scotch, and the label is Scotch. But I was feeling very frugal when I was at the Scotch store today. So I purchased this Prestige Scotch, blended Scotch whiskey. And let's try it out. No cork, by the way. No cork, sadly. Not too bad, ladies and gentlemen. Not too bad at all. Could be much worse. And of course, today we are using our water vapor pipe. Party Animal 3303 says, Oxhorn, is your awesome wife going to be chatting with us today? Quite possibly. I would love to have her come on out and say hi before she gives birth. But she hasn't quite decided. I tried to get her to come out, but she's a little under the weather. We'll see. We'll see. She'll probably be in the chat as the show goes on, and so she'll be able to answer your questions directly. Not bad, right? For water. Alright, so we've got some fan art to show off today. You guys have been intrepid, as usual. If I can find it, there we go. And I'll show you guys what you have sent me today. So for those who don't know, I love getting fan art from you fine ladies and gentlemen. You can submit it to me at scotchandsmokerings.com. There's a little hovering contact me form on the page, and be sure to paste in a link to the photo that you're trying to send me. I had one talented individual try and send me a link to the file on his C drive. That doesn't always work when you're emailing the link, so be sure to upload it first, and I'll be sure to show it off. My beautiful wife Nova says, hello, hello, I am in bed on my lappy. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, you have to urge her to come onto camera. And if she so decides, she will be sure to grace you with her presence. Okay, there's the photo. How do I... There we go. So, there's this, which was submitted by Autumn, And it is an achievement. It is a classy achievement. As you can see, the icon is Oxhorn over here. And it says, keeping it classy, Oxhorn style. Because nothing says classy like a derby hat, a fine cigar, and a glass of Scotch while you listen to classy music. Indeed, Autumn, I'm glad you noticed that. It is true. It is true. And then there is this one by the very talented Greg Hartung, who submits fan art almost every week. And the caption is, Summer Fun with Oxhorn and Friends. And here we have the entire gang out and having summer fun. This guy's, I don't know, Staghorn, if he's racing or running away in fear, I'm not sure. But Mortus and Lacey over here are having a good time cheering him on. Oxhorn he's got his shades on. Look at that. He's got his sunglasses on there, just sort of sunning. And this is, of course, Nova Domina. Scantily clad, actually. Having a good time cheering him on. I don't know. Oxhorn he's got his shades on. Oh, man. There we go. Fixed it. So, anyway, that is the fan art for today. I got more, but you guys didn't send it to me the right way, so I wasn't able to show it. Anyway, thank you for your submissions. If you would like to submit fan art, it's scotchandsmokerings.com, and then the contact form. Cheers, ladies and gentlemen. Bottoms up, my classy fellows and fellinas. Branu the Annihilator says, hey Ox, congrats on the Elf Calby. Is that what it is now, an Elf Calby? Nethla Holyhammer says, I submitted mine to Facebook and scotchandsmokerings.com. Did you? Alright, let me check my Facebook. See if I can get it. I don't see it on either of my pages. That's right, hold on. I forgot. We have another regularly scheduled segment that we haven't been doing on a regularly scheduled. Or on a regular schedule. Alright, I've got... okay, hold on, I may have seen it. Yes, alright, here we go. I see it now. Okay. If this is you. Here we go. This is fan art by Alex. And it says, Scotch and smoke rings. Only classy men can sit in midair. Yes. Yes, indeed. That would be true. Only classy men can sit in midair. But you're the one that drew it, right? So thank you for that. Awesome fan art. Hand drawn. Gotta love it. So, as we have done in the past, the Ranta says, what is this? This, my friend, is class. I hope you can appreciate it and enjoy it, because it'll only be here for another 80 years or so. But we used to have a regular segment here at scotchandsmokerings.com called Don'ts for Husbands and Don'ts for Wives. Just because, you know, we need lessons. You know, we're not born with all of the knowledge on being husbands and wives that we should, nor do we know all of these things once we get married. So I figured I would share some of the wisdom that was written back in 1913. That's right, these are Don'ts for Husbands and Wives from 1913. Jealousy. These are Don'ts for Husbands. Don't try to be a sultan. This is the West, and you can't shut your wife away from other men. Don't insult her by trying to, because sultans regularly shut their women away from other men. Don't tease your wife about every pretty girl you meet. She may not be jealous to begin with, but after a while, she may begin to think that there is something in it. Oh, good advice, good advice. Keep your eyes away from the other ladies, gentlemen. Don't object to a servant on the score of her looks. What? Don't object to a servant on the score of her looks. I don't get it. You wife will... Oh, spelling typo in a published book. Your wife will take care not to engage a pretty maid if she suspects you of undue interest in her appearance. Ah, okay, alright. So this is advice for people who are hiring servants, and he's telling men to not object to a servant because she's ugly. Great. This is very pertinent, right? To 2012. Here we go again. Don't imagine your wife never wants to see any other man than you. However nice she thinks you, it is possible to have too much of a good thing. That's probably true. I don't think my beautiful wife has had too much of a good thing yet. I'm pretty sure. Is it possible to have too much of me? No. Don't, if you think your wife sees too much of another man, forbid her to speak to him. You will perhaps only crystallize a wandering fancy by this method. Fill up her time yourself. Take her out a good deal, and the too friendly attitude will soon die a natural death. But a woman of spirit won't be coerced. Timeless advice. Alright, don'ts for wives. Alright, ladies, prepare to hear some advice from 1913. Evenings at home. That sounds like a good topic. How about that? Don't be out, if you can help it, when your husband gets home after his day's work. Yeah, that's good. Don't let him have to search the house for you. Listen for his latchkey and meet him on the threshold. It's the language that I love. Listen for his latchkey and then meet him on the threshold. That's pretty good. Don't omit the kiss of greeting, ladies. It cheers a man when he is tired to feel that his wife is glad to see him home. Pretty good. That's good. Don't greet him at the door with a catalog of the dreadful crimes committed by servants during the day. Again with the servants. Was this book written for only, like, masters? People who live in palatial mansions with all of their servants living in the small rooms in the basement? Was that the target audience for this? If so, it's a good thing I have it. Don't think your husband horrid if he seems a bit irritable. Probably he has had a very trying day, and his nerves are overwrought. Yes, overwrought nerves. Don't forget, if he is nervy, to watch if the tea habit is getting too strong in him. Nerves are often due to too much tea, as to too much worry. The tea habit. Look, they're talking about a caffeine addiction in 1913. Interesting. One more. Don't bother your husband with a stream of senseless chatter, women, if you can see that he is very fatigued. Wow, really? If you... okay, so help him to do the tidbits at dinner. Modulate your voice. Don't remark on his silence. If you have any cheery little anecdote to relate, tell it with quiet humor, and by he will respond. But if you tackle him in the wrong way, the two of you will spend a miserable evening. Wow. Wow. I just find it fascinating to see how people were supposed to address marriage and the relationship between men and women a century ago. Literally, like almost 100 years ago. Right? Everybody, all the men in the chat right now are going, amen. Amen, Oxhorn, amen. Yes. Cranther says tea is code for Scotch. Indeed it is. How could I forget? Cheers, ladies and gentlemen. Bottoms up. Lord Blackbane says, just curious, why did you switch to Twitch TV? The sound quality has slightly declined, and I'm having a bad lag spikes. Suggestions? Actually, since I switched to Twitch TV, I'm not seeing... Oh, okay, hold on a minute. No, it's working fine. Since I switched to Twitch TV, I have not seen worse quality. I've actually seen better quality. Let me look at my settings here. Nope, looks fine on my end. Yeah, it's streaming pretty well. How about everybody else in chat? Looking pretty good? You're all having lag spikes, huh? Right, I unplugged my other computer, so it is no longer competing for internet. Corbin6 says, Ox, I've seen your classy man I am, and I saw those kittens. How much are they? The kittens, I'm sure they will be free, but I don't know if my grandma... I was at my grandma's house, and the story behind that video is that my grandma loves animals, right? She pretty much accepts any animal that comes to the door. This time she has been, you know, playing the hostess to a wild random cat, which decided to give birth in her closet. So now she has a bunch of kittens, and she doesn't know what to do with them. So, I'm sure she'd be happy to give them away. Lag? You're getting lag too? I don't understand. On my end, it's looking fantastic. In fact, what I think I'll do... Oh, by the way, I am accepting comments here at scotchandsmokerings.com. There's a little Facebook box near the bottom where I answer questions regularly. So feel free to post your comments there. And I'm going to play my stream a little bit to see if it's lagging on my end. It is lagging on my end. Wow. Don't know why. Alright. Well, I'll figure it out later. Right now I've got a show to do, so... sorry about that, ladies and gentlemen. It appears to be lagging pretty much. Here, maybe if I turn this off, will that help? You have to let me know if that fixes the stream, if that makes it better. You're fine now? Is it? Alright. Irish1488 says, Ox, so what have I missed in the past? Well, you've missed quite a bit. So this is episode 150. And since, well, let's see, so that's 150 weeks of doing the show. Almost 2 years now? Almost 2 years? Okay. Much better, you guys are saying? Fantastic. Well, maybe that's what it was. Maybe it was just processing 2 cameras. Who knows? Anyway, that was fun. It was a fun experiment having 2 cameras up, but I guess it was lagging. So there we go, down to 1 camera. Anyway, since then I have gotten married. I got a new job. I'm about to have a baby. Little things like that, right? Nothing too terribly drastic. Oxhorn, do you RP in WoW? No, I do not RP in WoW. I have a role, and that role is myself, but that's really the only role I play in WoW. I don't actually have a backstory. Amelia80 on Twitter says, are you ready for some hardcore daddy / paternity leave? Flex? Yeah, so, funny story. I'm working full-time while I'm doing my Oxhorn stuff, and I'm trying to be a good husband. And... yesterday I'm sitting at work and my boss comes up to me and says, so how long are you going to take off for paternity leave? Because he knew that he knew that I was having a baby. And I said, well, I know the company really needs me and that I have a lot of work to do, so I'm going to try and take 1 week off and then get as much work done as I possibly can. And then he interrupts me and he says, nope, you're taking 2 weeks off. And I'm like, what? I don't know if I need to take 2. And he says, nope. I remember when I got my first 2 children, and I needed 2 weeks. So, Brandon, take 2 weeks off. And I'm like, all right, hey, if the boss is telling me to take 2 whole weeks off, who am I to argue? So, I'm taking 2 weeks off. 2 weeks of paternity leave. I'm going to spend the entire time making sure that my beautiful wife is comfortable, well-fed, and given all sorts of different kinds of Oxhorn love, so that she feels comfortable with a brand new baby. Is it still like, I don't know. All right, did the camera thing help? If not, I'll turn it back on. Tell me if this makes things worse. I'm curious. Patrick on Twitter says, it has been a while. I have moved to my new apartment and I came early to watch the show. Cheers, my good friend Ox. Fantastic. Well, I'm so glad you're here, Patricka. It's good to have you, and we love your gift, and we can't wait to use it with the baby. No difference? Worse with 2 cams? Right. I'll take off the second cam for now, and we should be good to go. The only other thing I could do is reduce the stream quality, and I don't want to do that because this looks like better quality, so... Abrano the Annihilator says, I don't mean to brag, but I can cook a mean gnome jambalaya. Really? Interesting. Well, you should probably market that. I bet people are constantly going onto Google, searching for gnome jambalaya. You could make a bank. So my buddy Mark came over yesterday, and Mark is the guy who does the voice of Staghorn in my movies, and he brought 2 Cuban cigars. I was in heaven. These are real Cubans from Cuba. His brother-in-law lives in Germany, and so his brother-in-law bought him these Cubans and brought them home with him. And so I got one. And he left, actually, all of his other Cubans in my humidor. So I've got a stash of Cubans in the house. And I'm supposed to keep them for him. I don't know, I'm kind of tempted, right? A bunch of Cubans in the house, a baby on the way, and I may just be tempted to smoke them. You think my friend will be upset? Do you think Mark would be bummed if I smoke all his Cubans? Interesting, interesting. I'll have to ponder that for a little bit longer. But it was a fine cigar. It was really, really nice cigar. Although, here's the secret. And you can't tell Mark this ever. So, it doesn't go beyond this chat where hundreds of people are watching publicly. Alright? It just doesn't go beyond here. Mark can't handle cigars. I know, it's true. Whenever he smokes a cigar, he'll get like halfway through it. And then, he starts to feel a little sick. And cigars are potent, right? So I can understand that. If you're not used to cigars and you don't have, like, you haven't built up a tolerance to them, they can get a little intense. They can make you a little bleh, you know. But poor Mark, my buddy, he cannot smoke a cigar without getting a little sickly. Just the way it goes. Even on Cubans, asks Edo Higuma. Yes, even on Cubans. I had to finish his. He only got halfway through his Cuban, and I finished it off. So I had a Cuban and a half last night. What? Really? Some of the messages you guys send me are just... they're just hilarious. And I can't read them on camera, so... Not answering that, but I am chuckling. Psyche98 says, I'm going to tell him. No, you cannot tell him. This was a secret between me and you and the other 80 people here. Right? You can't spoil a secret. That is ungentlemanly-like. That is not what classy individuals do. Yeah. Corbin6 has said something profound. He says, the nature of class is that not everyone has it. If everyone had class, then there would be no distinction between the classy and the non-classy, effectively making the word class meaningless. That, of course, is a quote from my manifesto on class at bloggingwithclass.com. Be sure to read it. It is enlightening. I'm glad, Corbin, that it has made a mark. Shyster112 says, Ox, you should be getting some fan art from me in the future. I'm currently too busy working on my novel, but have a great show. Thank you very much, Shyster. Good luck with your novel, and I look forward to the fan art in the future. That was a lot of alliteration. Forward to the fan art in the future. Patrick on Twitter says, did Drag1 in chat is asking, hey Ox, I received a turtle for my birthday, and I want to know if it's safe to feed a turtle cheese. Sorry, I missed that one, did Drag. But, no, you should not feed your turtle cheese. I don't know if it will hurt them, but it's a dairy, it's a processed dairy. They're not used to seeing or eating it in the wild, so they really love meat. Find them earthworms and crickets and grasshoppers. They love those. And sometimes mealworms, if it's a small turtle. If you don't have any meat like that, grill up some ground beef. They love ground beef. I don't know if they like chicken, but mine always liked ground beef. And big leafy green vegetables. They love that. Okay, thank you, and you pronounced the name wrong. Look, I'm reading text here, right? I don't know. It says DDRIAG1. Ddrag? How can you tell me that I'm pronouncing a name with two D's next to each other wrong? I'm just saying there usually has to be a vowel between two consonants. So I don't feel bad. But you're welcome. You're welcome. Edo Higuma says, I remember the old days, Oxhorn's machinima, and now you're married with a cute Taran druid on the way. I could just hug you. Maybe one day I'll get the chance. I will. Maybe, my friend, maybe you will. At the next BlizzCon, perhaps, which I will, of course, be attending. But yeah, this is life now, right? Oxhorn, Rafflemau guy, now producing spawn. Yeah. Yeah. These little water pipes, not too bad, right? I can produce a fairly thick smoke. Not too shabby, huh? Are you going to give Gavin a bubble pipe? Asks Autumn. Yes, I think that would be a lot of fun. Not when he's really young, but maybe when he's older, maybe a year or two older, I'll buy him a little bubble pipe and then he can blow on it and produce bubbles. Like his daddy. Yeah, that's right. I'll do smoke rings, he'll do bubbles. And by smoke rings, I do mean water vapor rings. I'm not going to smoke around my kid, just to let you guys know. In case you couldn't figure that out. Psychinit98 says, Oxhorn, can I see your feet? No. No, that is creepy. Never ask a man if you can see his feet. I kid. I'm not getting on your case. I do have rather amazing feet. They are one of my best features, especially when they're encased in the awesome suede shoes that I happen to be wearing right at this moment. I guess that means I'm going to have to show you my feet. I really don't want to. Tell you what, if you want to know what my suede shoes look like, they are on my image blog called Oxflix at sanswords.tumblr.com. So there you go. Shyster112 says your turtle is a carnivore. Indeed, turtles love meat. Box turtles anyway. Like if you got a little box turtle, which is a very small tortoise, they love meat. They're usually 60% carnivore, 40% omnivore. And by omnivore, you know, they don't really, sometimes, you know, they love corn because corn is really sweet, but it's not good for them. And the same is true with humans, right? I learned this when I got my first turtle. The poor guy, Hat, he had been fed on a diet of nothing but corn when he was at the pet shop. And he was sickly and thin, but he loved corn, and it was all he could eat. And so when I first got him, I brought him home, and I was doing all of this research online to try and learn about turtles, and I read that the corn was pretty much poison for turtles. And so I put him on a strict diet of crickets and earthworms. And he got fat and strong and healthy, and I weaned him off of his corn diet. And then I started introducing big leafy vegetables like, not spinach, because I think spinach irritates turtles a little bit, but kale and broccoli. He loved broccoli. And carrots. Carrots are more of a treat. They're not like the best food for turtles, but he loved carrots when I would feed him carrots. But his favorite foods were earthworms. He loved earthworms. What? What in the world is going on in chat right now? You guys need to be classy. Keep your class factor up. No creepiness, no stalking, no inappropriate comments. Or else the band hammer. I've got it tucked away right here. Do I need to bring out my band hammer? No? Alright. Corbin6 says, blogging with class is so cool. I'm glad, and I will share some blogging with class comments every Thursday so people know a little bit more about being classy. Thank you, my friend. I'm glad that there are at least a few people who enjoy my blog, which is, of course, called Blogging with Class. So, thank you very much. Glad you're here. Relicalia says, quit creeping. Indeed, we don't need people a-creeping in this chat. Is that what the kids say these days? A-creeping? This scotch was $9. $9 for a bottle. I got a very, very cheap bottle of scotch. I didn't want to spend a lot of money. I've got to pay for diapers now. I got to buy a lot of diapers. Yeah, expensive. But for $9, it's not bad. I thought Scoresby was a very good, affordable scotch, and that's a $13 scotch. But this is pretty decent as well. Nethala Holyhammer says, Oxhorn, since you know that you have so many fans, have you ever thought of starting a tour selling autographs in the state's major capitals? Oh yeah, this has been on my mind for a long time, and I really do. Every day I'm getting messages from people saying, come to Wisconsin or Madagascar, my local area, and give me autographs. I want autographs and photos. I want to shake your hand and pose for pictures. Oh, it's all the time. It's incessant. Like, I can't even drive to work without people getting in their cars and driving me off the road and saying, Oxhorn, it's Oxhorn. I would love a photo with a signature. No, really, it's not that. That's really not my life. I've got a fairly low-key kind of life. I get a lot of people asking for photographs and signatures at events like BlizzCon. Then I walk around and I get noticed. But like in real life, I don't. I think it's happened 3 or 4 times in real life. Someone recognized me. Once was at a supermarket in SeaTac. Once was on the street in San Francisco. And what was the third time? I remember there was a third time. I forget. But yeah, it doesn't happen all the time. I am, of course, happy to give autographs and photos to those who request. Jordan Finch says, Ox, glad to be around for your 150th episode. I've been to as many as I can since the 60th, but I got a dash. See you around, dude. Must resist staying. Have to sleep. My friend, pleasure to have you here as always. Sleep is important. Go get some classy sleep. It's good for you. So wait a minute. My year anniversary was 52. My 2-year anniversary was 104. Really? So wait a minute. Have I passed my 3rd year anniversary and I didn't know it? Hold on a second. How many weeks in a year? I know I could do this with a calculator, but okay. Google is faster. It says 52.177457. That's a lot of weeks in a year. How many weeks in 3 years? 156? That's a lot of weeks. Alright, so I've done my year anniversary. I've done my 2-year anniversary. I've got a 3-year anniversary episode coming up in 6 weeks. That's a month and 2 weeks. I can has math. Okay, well, looks like I have a special show to sort of conjure up. Do you guys have any ideas? You're going to have to email me some ideas for some amazing things to do for my 3rd year anniversary of Scotch and Smoke Rings. Who would have thought that in 3 years I would go from wherever I was 3 years ago to here. I just couldn't imagine it. Nethala Holyhammer says, Ox, what is the most unclassy moment of your life that you can remember? And I can tell you what it was. It was the one moment in my life where I actually got drunk. I have made a point here at scotchandsmokerings.com to never drink too much, to never get drunk, and that's just my personal life philosophy. I don't want to lose control of myself. I feel like it is perfectly possible to enjoy a gentlemanly beverage without getting drunk. And so that is part of my personal manifesto, and that is to never get drunk. But one time when I was younger and inexperienced and foolhardy, I did indeed get drunk. It was when I was living in California, and it was during my birthday party, I think it was. And man, that was quite a party. Anyway, I did and said things that I regret, and a lot of them were on camera, which hopefully none of you will ever see. So, thankfully, I learned from that mistake, and my class factor has revived, and I will never again be drunk. That was my most unclassy moment of my life. Diego23 says, Oxhorn, have you ever heard of the Fey Dog Tin Whistle? I just bought one. Of course, I have my friend. I have one, so I'm trying to find it. There it is. Fey Dog. If it'll focus. Key of D. This is the tin whistle I used to do Raffle Mal and other machinima stuff that I've done. And it's a fine tin whistle. It's reasonably priced. I think this was like $13 or $14. And it's got a very clean, pure note. So, yeah, it's a good tin whistle. Congratulations. Dakota says, Oxhorn, been here when you got the Whiskey Stones from a fan. Love the live stream. Where did you get that pipe from? I got this pipe online. I forget where it was. There was a specific website where I bought it. I'll have to share it all with you. It was fairly inexpensive. I think this was $30. And then the refills, I think I've got a package of refills that I can show you. Yeah. These are the refills that go in it. This is a Pipe 601. So if you want to Google it, it's a Pipe 601. I bought enough refills to last me for a very long time. Usually I go through one refill a week, and there are 6 refills per canister, and I've got 7 canisters left. So as you can see, this will last me a very long time. And the replacements were like $20. So it's a very inexpensive way to smoke if you really want the nicotine hit. But the ones that I have actually 0 nicotine. So they're nicotine free. And as you can see, it produces a fairly fine water vapor smoke. Shyster112 says, Ox, you are coming upon your 3rd year celebration of Scotch and Smoke Rings. What are you planning on doing for the special occasion? Another meat meal? True, like the last time I did a big celebration episode, I had a grill outside, right? My brother came, and then my best friend from college came, David, and we had barbecue. We sat there barbecuing hot dogs and all sorts of fantastic stuff. That's a great way to celebrate. I may have to do that again. I actually have a really nice yard now, now that I moved into this new house. We have a deck, we have a nice yard, we could smoke uninterrupted, and have a grill. That's a great idea. I'm glad you're sitting there thinking about these things for me, my friend. So Hikitsune says in a rather intimate reveal into his life, bottle of Jack Daniels, $15, an electronic pipe, $20, a pair of shamrock suspenders, $10, massaging my girl's back while watching Scotch and smoke rings, priceless. You, sir, are a gentleman and a scholar. I tip my hat to you. Kudos and bottoms up. Alright, I'm going to refresh my scotchandsmokerings.com comments to see if any of you have commented. If I can find the right tab. What is it? What? Hold on a second. There's an elf whispering evil things to me. What are you saying, elf? Run an ad? Oh, I can't do that. I don't want... oh, I have to? Or else the world will end? Oh, I don't want the world to end. Alright, looks like I have to run an ad. I'm sorry, everybody, but the world will end otherwise. Here's an ad. 30 seconds. Cheers. To the fine gentleman who was asking me earlier why I switched to Twitch, this is why. Ads. Sorry, how else am I going to afford my beard soap and conditioner? Right? I've got to have a stock of manly beard products, right? Alright, refreshing my Facebook comments here on scotchandsmokerings.com. Let's see. Sam Nichols asks, will Brian be back for the third year, perhaps? Yeah, absolutely. I'll do my very best to get him on camera again. Alright, there's like 20 minutes left in the show. Does my beautiful wife want to come on camera and say hi? Beautiful wife? Maybe? I don't know. We'll see. If she decides to come, I hope so. But if not, you all will understand, I'm sure. El Toro Guaco says, you're evil, Oxhorn. I know. I just can't help it sometimes. It's so easy. Easy to be evil. Ox, for your third year anniversary, however you spell it, I think you were close, you need to wear a classy tuxedo suit with a black top hat, have a classy cigar and pipe, a bottle of single malt scotch, and have a nice BBQ. That sounds amazing to me. There's nothing that screams class than scotch and grilled flesh covered in sauce. I mean, what? That's like heaven. I just can't think of anything else that would be better. So who knows? Maybe that is what I will do. Yes, alright, Nova Domina, my beautiful wife, is feeling a little under the weather. It's okay. Well, you know, I'm sure she'll come on camera again in the future, probably to show off the baby when the baby is born. So no pressure, honey. No pressure, my sweetheart. You can stay there. Nothing like a warm cup of Java with Irish cream creamer, says Abranhu the Annihilator. This is a weird song. That's true. I have actually, I can appreciate an alcoholic coffee. Like an Irish cream is very tasty. It's more of like a dessert coffee, right? It's something you drink after a nice big meal. You have a little bit of coffee, a little bit of alcohol, a little bit of whipped cream on top. Not bad. Jonathan says Ox audio. What's wrong with the audio? Is there something wrong with the audio? Why is there a Queen of Hearts on the wall behind you? Asks a fan. Oh, I missed your comment. Oh, that's actually a clock. Like, right over there. Yeah, that's a clock. My wife had it. It was in her room. And then when she moved up here, she brought it. And now I'm putting it in here. I like it. Variable205 says, any updates on the hippie neighbor next door? I'm kind of curious. No, nothing really. We had that altercation a few weeks ago where I pretty much put him in his hippie place. And I haven't seen much of him. Neither hide nor hair. Long hippie hair of him since. So I saw him once, I think it was yesterday. And we just acted like everything was cool. He said, hello, Brandon. I hope you enjoy the sun today. And I said, why, thank you, Tom. I will. Have a good day on your bicycle. And then he rode off with his helmet on. That's it. Man, I'm rocking these water vapor rings. Bogrin in chat says, you know what she has to go through to get that baby here? It's not fun. My mom almost tore my sister's dad's hand off. It hurts like defecation. Really? All right. Well, I will do my very best to not get my hand ripped off, but of course she will have my hand, and she can use my hand to steady herself during such a process. Alright, checking out scotchandsmokerings.com comments. Let's see here. What do we got? Jonathan C. says, Oxhorn idea when you and Mindflame will be playing Shoot Many Robots. We played that game a few weeks ago, and he published a YouTube video of it. If you find his Mindflame YouTube channel, I'm sure you'll be able to see it. It was a lot of fun. I really enjoyed that game. Brenda Burks says, do you sing barbershop music? You have a fine voice. Why, thank you, Brenda. I've sung barbershop quartets before. When I was in college, I was in a quartet where we sang, oh, what's the name of the song? Farewell and adieu to you Spanish ladies. Farewell and adieu, you ladies of Spain. For we've received orders to sail for old England. We hope in a short time to see you again. I forget the name of it, but that was a great quartet, and I was a tenor one in that. I had the highest part. And then, of course, for my machinima, I do videos every now and again, which is always fun. Hey Ironbark, when are you going to be on the show? Asks Bogren. Who knows, says Ironbark. As soon as you come up to Seattle, Ironbark, we'd love to have you as a co-host here at scotchandsmokerings.com. Blonde Tusk says, I'm so late. Well, at least you're here. I mean, yes, there are only 10 minutes left in this fine program, but you made it, right? You got a little bit of the beard. And it's important, and it will satisfy you for the rest of the day. So, glad you're here. Shyster says, Ox, could you play the penny whistle? I could, but I don't know what you guys want to hear. What is on your minds? I've got a number of choices. There is my Guinness penny whistle, which was a gift of a fan. There's my Fey Dog penny whistle, which was my very first penny whistle. There's my Key of C penny whistle, which is blue and produces a fine low note. And then there's my favorite penny whistle, which is this one. Dixon. It's a Tony Dixon. King of the Fairies. I play that one almost every time. You want me to play King of the Fairies again? Alright, how about this one. The Rocky Road to Dublin? That's a good song. I don't know if I can do it on a penny whistle though. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Pandas? Yeah. Pandas, pandas, pandas. Ah, man, I'm bad. Road Tipperary? Alright, hold on. No, I don't know that one. It's been a long way to Tipperary. Alright, how about King of the Fairies? You guys want that? What's another one I know? It's been a while. There you go. I forget the name of that one, but that's more of like a traditional Celtic folk song, I believe. Concerning Hobbits? You want me to play Concerning Hobbits? How does that one go again? Da na 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 na. Da na 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 na. Is that the right one? Concerning Hobbits? I don't know if I can play that one. I should probably learn it. I believe they get it asked it a lot. It's actually getting close to smoke ship time. We have 6 minutes left in the books. Show. All right. How's that? Man, that was totally like off the top of my head. Never done that before, ever. They always say that the best take is always the first take. Jiggle me gently says, Ox, you are my great Kodo. There's a whole lot within that entire thing that bothers me. But you know what? That's cool. That's cool. Psycho98 says, this is the first Scotch and Smoke Rings where I did not come up with a smoke ship. And I was not prepared. I am sorry, Ox. Well, my friend, I'm sure you will come up with one next week. But in the meantime, it is time, ladies and gentlemen, for your smoke ship ideas. We have 4 minutes left in the program, and I will blow for you a smoke ship of any shade and color that you wish. Whether it's a diorama or a submarine or a flying zeppelin or a regular traditional battleship or maybe some sort of spaceship, I will do my very best. Cheers, ladies and gentlemen. Tip your bottoms just a little bit up. Nathan Olehammer says, I sent you my smoke ship idea on Facebook. Alright, let's see. What have we here? It's easier for me if you send them on Twitter, but I will do my best to check out Facebook as well. It's very cool. Wow. Interesting. That's bizarre. Oh, sorry. By the way, if any of you are curious, feel free to check out my Facebook page, facebook.com/Oxhorn page, where you will see a video of a man who took his taxidermied cat and turned it into a helicopter. You gotta just admire their creativity, right? I'm trying to see your comment, my friend, and I don't see it. Maybe you put it on my regular Facebook page? No. Oxen Nova flying a unicorn-drawn flying carriage and fly through a portal into the Diablo realm of Whimsyshire, where the elves are trying to release fuzzy bears, unicorns, and rainbows into Azeroth, says Ironbark. Fuzzy creatures into Azeroth? I shudder to think. What do you think of K-pop, Brandon? Asks Johannes. My thoughts on K-pop are similar to my thoughts on J-pop, which I pretty much laid out at the end of Thunk Leaves Home in the form of a single called Oxhorn's Opinion on J-pop. So feel free to check that out. It may answer your questions. Corbin6 says, Ox, Stag, and St. Patrick, of all people, driving a bacon train with pecan pie wheels, hauling golden barrels of green whiskey and bales of the highest quality tobacco across the universe on a double rainbow track. Wow! Corbin, my friend. That's pretty boss. Pretty boss. Peelipo says, Plipo and Oxhorn flying through blue night sky while jumping on a donkey eating pumpkin pie. While shooting alliance with our bows and yelling, "For the horde!" A sheep is munching on some grass, by the way. Oh, it's good. Donkey eating pumpkin pies? You guys, the creativity of the Oxhorn audience is impressive. Impressive. Diego 23 says, "Do the black pearl with a rainbow breeze, whistling the king of the fairies, zigzagging through 24th dimensional turtles, singing Irish ballads." Okay. Ox and stag playing bacon penny whistles while they ride a giant turtle like the Tuskar through a Scotch sea, spreading bacon musical joy across Pandaria, says Ghoul Breath. Fantastic idea. What's wrong with that one? I'm sorry, I just can't get the idea. Oh, Nathaniel Holyheimer says, "Ox, did you get my smoke ship idea? I didn't listen because my cousin just barged in the house." No, I didn't see your smoke ship idea. I don't actually see it on my social places. Nova driving a giant airship and smoking a bubble pipe while the ship shoots double rainbow lasers at the Alliance, an army of invisible pink unicorns attacking the pandas below, says Autumn. Very nicely done. Jonathan says, "Hat atop a galleon made of bacon, commanding his panda and elf slaves to fire upon the tofu production facilities, while Oxhorn carves out a pipe for baby Gavin to blow bubbles with from Stag's." And there it stops. I don't know. Nathan Olehammer says, "A battleship made of peanuts and soap, BBQ'd and covered in steak sauce, shooting down all the night and blood elves in Pandaria. The ship crashes into the island and crushes all the Pandarin in sight. Hat and Barnaby are then teleported to Pandaria by Mr. Evil for them to eat all of the elves." Hold on, my phone is ringing. For them to eat all of the elves and Pandarin's corpses. Then they return to Kalimdor by riding a monochrome rainbow, having their... And it's still going, and I haven't seen the last bit of it. Wow, this is quite a smoke ship, my friend. I have no idea who this is. I'll wait till the show is over to call them back. Bean eating panda pizzas while Tom the hippie neighbor teaches baby Gavin how to blow a bubble pipe, while Ox and Nova cook elf bacon in the classy kitchen. Elf bacon? As much as I love bacon, I just don't know if I would eat elf bacon. Oh, Nathan Holyhammer finishes by saying having their desert of sausages covered in whipped cream. Oh, it's a dessert of sausages. I like it. It's really good. Alright, I think I'm actually going to go with... What the heck? Why are they playing this song? Whatever. It's just really distracting. Isn't this like a nursery rhyme? Why is this on a classy music station? A turtle spaceship flying from Earth to protect it from the planet-eating Galactulas. Galactus. A planet-eating Galactus. As it's firing its laser. That's nice, El Toro Guaco. Okay, there you go. I like this one. Sorry. So, Pleepo, just the idea of a donkey eating pumpkin pie just fills me with all sorts of magic and wonder. So that's the one I am doing today, ladies and gentlemen. Here we go. Time for this week's Smoke Ship. Be ready.
Who's afraid of the big bad wolf? Big bad wolf, big bad wolf. Who's afraid of the big bad wolf? La 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 la. Hee-ho, ha thumb. I smell the blood of a nickname.
Whoa! Did you see that? There, before your very eyes, was Pleepo's wonderful masterpiece. It was me and him flying through the blue night sky while jumping on a donkey eating pumpkin pie. You know, a big pumpkin pie that eats donkeys. Right? While shooting alliance with our bows and yelling for the horde, and just randomly a sheep is also somewhere in the vicinity munching grass. So there you go. All before you at one moment was that fantastic smoke ship / diorama by Pleepo. So thank you very much, Pleepo. And thank you everybody for coming to this week's episode of Scotch and Smoke Rings, episode 150, the 150th episode of this fine program, and also the final one before yours truly becomes a father. So thank you everybody for coming, and be sure to tune in next week, same Ox time, same Ox channel for episode 151. And in the meantime, ladies and gentlemen, be sure, my friends, to stay classy.
Big bad wolf, who's afraid of the big bad wolf? La 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 la.